What's up, guys? Welcome back to the That's Sowdev podcast. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. You are iconic. Y'all know we got some tea to get into. But before we get into this tea, make sure you go ahead and follow me at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, especially YouTube. We kind of popping over there, okay? Now, the Grammys. We are here to talk about the Grammys. And we do this every year. Y'all already know what the tea is. First of all, I want to start off this podcast by saying the last 4 years of the Grammys have been the lowest viewership of any Grammys show, period. The last 4 years, they have been the lowest. But this show, I believe it's up plus 20% this year in viewership. So, small wins for them. Anyway, so, look, the Grammys are the perfect example of two things can be true at once, and or multiple things can be true at once. We can celebrate those who win and also clock the Grammys on how much further they have to go. So I just feel like they're the perfect example of that. And it proves to be true every year because, 9 times out of 10, when that award nomination list come out, it's all hell. Truly, it really is. And at the same time, there's this excitement that it brings. You know what I mean? There's an excitement that comes with your favorite artist being nominated for a Grammy or winning a Grammy. And at the same time, there's this disappointment in, there's a lot of people that you have overlooked. And something that I want to point out is that, Taylor Swift said the Recording Academy, the way that they vote, it's heavily influenced by the fans' passion. And what I got from that is that people in the Recording Academy are not voting for the music itself. That's what I'm getting from that, to be honest. And I'm sure other people probably got something different from that or whatever, but it felt like a very classy drag. Like, I'm so grateful. This is awesome that you did vote for me, but the way that you vote is flawed. And that ends up having popularity be rewarded. And how long are we going to, be fucking for real? How long are we going to allow popularity to be in the forefront of the music industry, knowing that we're missing a quality of stardom and star power? And where are our divas? Where are the songwriters who are getting, 1,000 likes versus the 100K likes? Where are the artists who truthfully gave one of the best albums of the year, but it didn't touch mainstream? Who's paying attention to these artists? Come on. We're in a very calculated industry now. The industry is looking at y'all because you can't make it up. Because you have things such as, and I use this as an example all the time. I remember Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber had this video. They were on a green screen and it was just so lazy. It was such a lazy video, and it got nominated for a major music video category for several award shows. And it's just like, imagine if someone else did that and they didn't have the platform or the industry backing such as what they have. Imagine it. Because where the hell would that song or video had gone? Where would it have gone? Where? Quickly, let me know. No, we have to start being serious. And I really do think that was such a classy drag by Taylor Swift while she was, acknowledging her award. And, it was a theme this year, actually. More so than ever, I noticed. Where people are like, this doesn't really mean anything. And, Miley Cyrus also said it, all those D's excite me. It doesn't define me. I know that. This doesn't mean anything. But you want to know, she was like, y'all, but it does mean something, right? Like, yay, like, we're celebrating. We're like, hey, I just won my first Grammy. But at the end of the day, I can go to a fucking concert anywhere in the world and sell that shit out. So that's all that matters to people. Y'all, again, two things can be true at once. I'm like, yes, Victoria Monet walking away with 3 Grammys, getting that Best New Artist award. Yes, ma'am. I'm celebrating her wins. I'm celebrating the seeds that she has planted throughout her career and seeing them sprout and grow. Now she's starting to get those flowers from the seeds that she planted, and I believe it's only going to keep going from this point forward. So I'm very happy to see Victoria Monet walk away with 3 Grammys. Also, SZA walking away with 3 Grammys. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We know it should have been 4. And look, because I get y'all. If you could just see me like rubbing my fucking head right now, like I'm just like, oh my god, I don't even want to talk about this shit. But I just feel like I keep seeing history repeat itself. The amount of times that a black woman gets snubbed for album of the year, and what's so awful about it is that I feel an album truthfully captures a black woman's experience in life and what she has been through. And the most disrespected person on this planet, they are black women. The most disrespected on this planet. And I feel like constantly snubbing them of album of the year when they rightfully do have the albums of those years. It's overlooking their stories and their experiences, and you're not voting for them because you're not resonating with them with their experiences because you don't care. And it's just like it's constantly the rewarding of, and this is not on Taylor Swift, but it is the constant rewarding of Taylor on a regular basis and not seeing that as, oh, she's winning too much. But then you look at Beyonce and then you have people in the Academy saying that she has won too much, so they're not going to vote and nominate her. And again, while simultaneously in the same breath, voting for Taylor every single time. At what point, like, what the hell do you got to do to win Album of the Year? Because SZA had Album of the Year. Renaissance had Album of the Year. But come on now. Beyonce should have had at least 3 Album of the Years. I don't know how many people don't want to talk about that shit. But, well, I'm sorry. Midnights was not, for one, it wasn't Taylor's best album. 2, I didn't think that Midnights was actually going to win because it wasn't the best album. I don't even think it was really top 3 in my choices to win Album of the Year, or most people, unless you are a Taylor Swift fan. And even if you are a Taylor Swift fan, you do in fact understand that, well, that probably shouldn't have gone to her. If you are a person who sees shit for how it is in this industry, you will see the BS for what it was. And it is so ironic how Jay-Z went to go accept his Global Impact Award, and guess what? He actually spoke on it. He was like, some of y'all may get snubbed. And I really had a feeling that he already knew that SZA was going to get snubbed, because history does repeat itself, especially with the Recording Academy on a regular basis. On a regular basis, y'all. Very interesting. So while we're on the topic of the Grammys playing in people's faces, the Grammys decided that they were going to go ahead and tweet that Nicki Minaj won her first Grammy. Now, listen, this hasn't happened to any other artist. This has not happened to any other category. Just Nicki Minaj. They, quote unquote, accidentally tweet that, she won her first. How do you accidentally tweet that somebody won their first Grammy? You said that to the public. You need to offer a public ass apology. I don't give a fuck. Because now it's bringing to light all the things that she has been saying, especially with this industry, especially with the Recording Academy. She has been speaking about this for several years, and I know a lot of people, I don't like Nicki Minaj because of Stan stuff and all that stuff and Twitter and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. This is work, and this will impact beyond Nicki, but people don't listen until another man says something. Well, I'm sorry. There's no way with scheduled tweets. It's in your tweets. It's on the Grammys.com. The Grammys website had her with one Grammy. Everything registered to knowing, and that's not just a mistake that they make. That's not just a mistake. Those tweets are timed. Do not be fooled. They got it on the website saying that she won a Grammy. They got it on, literally, if you had searched Nicki Minaj and Grammy up, it would have had a little animated thing that showed that she was a Grammy winner. So now they're taunting this woman. Mind you, she has a sold out world tour that she's in rehearsals for right now and paying it no mind because it sold the fuck out. So why does she give a fuck about a Grammy? She doesn't need one, never has. 3 number ones, ate that up. Anywho, we all know Nicki Minaj has deserved a Grammy. Been deserved. But at this point, what the fuck does it mean? You see how at the same time, it's the reoccurring thing that the Grammys can be two things at one time. Because I can sit up here and drag them for how they have treated Nicki Minaj. I can get up here and drag them about how Miley Cyrus has needed a nomination. She deserved a nomination for several things in her career, but she's just now getting one 18 years into her career. And I'm like, yay, she finally won her Grammy, right? Yay, I'm sharing that win for her, but I'm recognizing also the BS that the Grammys is doing over here with A, Nicki Minaj, and B, how much further we have to go with SZA. So there's about 3 things over here that's coexisting at the same motherfucking time. And what I don't like personally is that when an artist is actually dealing with something that's very real and people reduce it because how they feel about that artist personally. If you are a real ass bitch, it doesn't matter how you personally feel about the artist. You will be able to give somebody their tens where tens are due. You will be able to respectfully agree? What? Girl. Anyway, you will respectfully agree because it came to a situation to where it was last year, Nicki Minaj called out the Grammys for their BS, right? And then what happened? Because the prime example of her calling the Grammys out is that you're saying that Super Freaky Girl, which is a rap song, over a beat that could be classified as pop, but she's rapping on it, the rap skills, the rap flows and whatnot, everything. We have the techniques of rap in there, right? So it is a rap song, but they're classifying it as pop, while also saying that Big Energy is a rap song, which they still nominated Big Energy for rap and still put Super Freaky Girl in pop. And when she called out the difference between that, Miss Lotto decided that she wanted to try to diminish the conversation, even though she agreed in private, but wanted to make the whole situation about her not speaking on her song. You have to take your personal self out of this situation because it's not about the personal. This is about business. And if Nicki Minaj doesn't call it out, they're going to continue to do the same BS that they have always done. No? Could you imagine somebody doing that to fucking Jay-Z while he was on that goddamn stage giving their speech, and then somebody low-key actually agreed with him, but then tried to overshadow his fucking speech by saying, you shouldn't mention me or my song. Not even you. You shouldn't mention my song. Bitch, your song is the business. Your song is... It's the fact that people make a lot of business shit personal. And that's where it kind of gets all murky. Because Stan Twitter, not real, right? Twitter isn't real. It can end up having real repercussions though, right? So you have Stan Twitter. Stan Twitter will take anything. They could take rumors and they can turn that shit into reality by manifesting it through blogs and blah, blah, blah. And now, it's like, you remember those little line games where you used to tell somebody a secret and by the time it got down to about the 15th person, a totally different thing was said. That's the same shit that happened. So when Stan Twitter turns this shit and it manifests in the blogs, now the blogs are talking to each other low key through the ear, and then it's gonna come out on the 25th blog that so and so like the Photoshop, screenshot or whatever, blah blah blah, bitch, and it will actually turn into a real beef type thing. So now these artists are seeing all these blogs. A lot of them don't know what's real or not. Some of them are not smart enough to not pay attention to it. Some of them actually fall into the trap of these blogs and these stands. And that's how a beef actually comes about. You can blame a stan if you want to. You can. And it's absolutely on them for starting the beef. But also at the same time, you got the people who do fall for it. No, you can't help it. Is that what you signed up for? Yes, it is. I think that should be something that you actively pay attention to. That is just me. Because do you know how easy it is for somebody to manipulate the media in any form or fashion? A lot of these stands don't realize that they are directly in the media manipulation. It's so sad. And mind you, these are the same people whose passion influences the Academy. Because remember I said that Taylor Swift said that, the Grammy voters, the way that they vote, right? It's a direct reflection of the passion of the fans. Right? Girl. I can't help but fucking laugh because Twitter is such an interesting thing to me in the impact that it has on the music industry, because it does have an impact. Because again, who do you think the labels look out for? The labels are taking notes from the fucking stands. That's why the labels don't invest in artists. If they're not going to get you these viral tweets, bitch, well, good luck. UMG already pulled the audio off of TikTok, so, well, it's amazing. It's amazing how business can become personal. That's why everybody always got their feelings hurt. That's why when a rap beef come about, everybody is all crying and all that shit. Do you know what 50 Cent and Tupac and all of them bitches said? Have you streamed Hit 'Em Up by Tupac? Because a lot of people be quoting that song, but for some reason, they will hear Bigfoot, an unserious troll song by Nicki Minaj, and be like, oh, my, drop a tear, I'm crying. Girl, get the fuck over it. This is rap beef. Not a motherfucking pop culture, pop beef or some shit like that. You need to get the fuck up. Anyway, we are in a time where social media is directly impacting the music industry and the awards. It's impacting the business. It is. It really, really is, because look at it. The media manipulation, right? So the Grammys tweet, Nicki Minaj won her first Grammy, right? But they lied. That wasn't the case. So what happens after that? Now, everybody who was already hoping on Nicki Minaj's fall now has fuel to their fire. Right? No apology, no nothing. Because your disrespect, the apology got to be just as loud as it, right? But nothing. So now you've put this woman in a position to be embarrassed. Now, Nicki Minaj can't be embarrassed because she doesn't give a fuck about a Grammy, right? But it's really just that media manipulation tactic that we were just talking about. You going in, a woman who has been in this game for almost 20 years, you tweeted that she won her first Grammy. A woman who's been in this game for 20 years and has won a Grammy, you tweeted she won her first Grammy. And now, blogs, everybody is going on about their motherfucking business. Throwing out all these narratives now. That's crazy. And then no public apology, just moved on like it never happened. And now, mind you, get this. The person who did win the best rap song got arrested. Got arrested before the awards ceremony began. Now, you can only receive a Grammy if you are not incarcerated at the time of the award ceremony. Not pre-show, none of that. Interesting, isn't it? Isn't it funny how that instant karma comes? And that man got arrested right inside the Grammys before the show started, inside the venue. Had the CEO coming out and all of that. Now, look, the CEO is now black, right? The Grammys have, and this is just my opinion, obviously. The Grammys have put on this front that they are doing better. Let me tell you why I think that. I think that because, okay, we've got a black man running the Grammys now, right? I mean, he's been running it for a while now, but this is really the idea that has been painted. We have a black man running the Grammys now. Ooh, this year, more women have been nominated than ever. Ooh, more black people have been nominated than ever. Ooh, the nominations list came out, right? Oh, we really starting to see things, settle in a motherfucking place, right? We got all these black women and black people generally getting nominations rightfully. We got the black CEO. You know what I mean? Come on now. The Grammys is starting to do something, right? So we get to the actual motherfucking show where the action got to be shown. Bitch. Guess how many rap categories was announced during the main show? 0. 0. Fucking 0. And then we go over and we have history repeating itself with Taylor Swift winning Album of the Year yet again. Wow. So it's literally, and you're seeing it for yourself, this front that they're putting on to make themselves look better. Imagine saying I got all these different motherfucking fruits, right? And I got a Red Delicious, I got a Granny Smith, I got a Honey Crisp, I got an orange, I got a grapefruit, bitch. And when I got an orange, I say I got a large navel orange and a medium one. So I got all these motherfucking fruits here, right? You know what I mean? I got apple, orange, and in the same family as a motherfucking orange. Look at all this diversity I got. Bitch. No, baby. This is why I'm saying. And you feel the energy in this podcast. It's like, yay, but it's watch your mouth, bitch. Because multiple things exist at once. It does. It just simply does. That's not something that social media understands. It's got to be one or the other, right? It's what Miss Scratchoff thought. It's one or the other. You're mentioning my song, so it's one or the other, right? No, bitch. This is deeper than you. Deeper. Okay? What Nicki Minaj had been speaking on, Jay-Z said the same shit. Well, Nicki been saying the same shit. Nobody listened to a man say it. Now Jay-Z said it. Now it's going viral on Twitter. Let Nicki Minaj say it and she's bitter and blah, 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 and all that good shit. They're of people who have been calling out the Grammys. Why do you think The Weeknd doesn't submit his music anymore? He don't give a fuck. What does it mean to him? He can go number one for however long he fucking want to be honest. And with an old song at that. So, the Grammys is just a hot ass mess right now. And until somebody actually does something about it, it's going to continue to be exactly the way that it is. So, whatever, right? We'll try again next year, bitch, right? So, we'll see. They nominated all women in a lot of these categories. Like, a lot of these categories are just simply all women. So, I'm thinking in my head, they're like, oh, you got your good little treat. Now, they're going to go back to business next year. I'm telling you, I feel like they're going straight back to business. This was the year that I feel like that they thought they maybe hit it on. You know what I mean? Yep. Hammer on the nail. Nail on the motherfucking hammer. I know they felt like they did that shit. But they didn't really see all the ways that they didn't. And they never do until someone says something. But it has to be someone who says something with power, right? And it's not that some of these artists don't have power, but in the realms of the Grammys, they don't. That's why people like Nicki Minaj, in the realm of Grammys, she don't have power. She has her own power. Do you know, I want to say it was about 3 years ago, Nicki Minaj got more viewership. She got more viewership for her Queen Radio than the Grammys on the same day. Now, could you imagine? One artist got more power than the motherfucking Grammys. I was looking at the Grammys last night and I said, why more people come to Beyonce's world tour than come to the motherfucking Grammys? Like, you gotta be fucking for real. You gotta be so fucking for real. It's actually truthfully sad, but it was nice. I gotta say, it was nice to see a lot of superstars and whatnot. You can tell that they wanted to try to make this show genuinely such a well-crafted show. And it's not that it's not a well-crafted show. It's just very boring. It's very boring. The entertainers are very, very boring. Not understanding why Victoria Monet was not performing when she had all of those fucking Grammy noms. If somebody has 5+ Grammy noms, why the fuck aren't you booking them? I've had enough of it. They're gonna reward Victoria Monet with 3 Grammys. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. But where was her fucking performance? Anyway, and here's what actually gagged me, because I'm so grateful that Miley Cyrus, she had like 6 nominations, I believe, 6 or 7, I think, but she took home Pop Solo and Record of the Year, which honestly makes sense. There is not a single song over the last year that has had almost 20 million streams daily. And she was doing that on a regular basis with that song. So rightfully, that song needed to gather all of its awards. Not getting Song of the Year makes total sense. I thought that Billie Eilish winning that, yeah. I mean, when you really think about each song in the context that it's in, why it's written and its purpose, and how it just matches the songwriting all around, I just think that Billie Eilish was the person to take that home. I wouldn't have been mad if Victoria Monet took home Record of the Year either. Like, I wanted Flowers or I wanted Victoria Monet. One or the other. Anywho. But, yeah. So, the big categories, I love that. Victoria Monet taking Best New Artist. Miley Cyrus having Record of the Year. Billie Eilish having Song of the Year. And, look, Album of the Year just ain't hitting. I'm not going to act like it did. Anyway. But I know that Paramore took home a Grammy, and that absolutely ate for me. I love them, and I love that for them. Coco Jones took home a Grammy for ICU, and honestly, beautiful. What a beautiful song. So well deserved. Coco Jones just won a Grammy before she even put out a debut album. That's how impactful she is as an artist. And I do think that this is genuinely well deserved for her. when you listen to that song, it's just something about it is just so moving and raw, and you can tell that a lot of the music that she's making now is really inspired by that struggle that she has had all of those years ago. And I just feel like she puts all of that energy into her work now, and it really does resonate. I mean, look how it's hitting on Bel Air. Look how it's hitting on this EP that she just put out. She only has one. So it's just like, we are really allowing artist development to take in, because look at Tyler, the youngest South African, Victoria Monet, says Coco Jones, the list goes on, and we're just winning in the spaces that we rightfully have been controlling, and also new spaces. So again, multiple things can be true. You see how it's just a beautiful thing right here, but then we was also just calling out the bullshit 2 seconds ago. But that's because multiple things exist. And a lot of people got to remember that shit. Multiple things can exist in a lot of situations. It's not just one thing. Do not be a simple-minded bitch. I'm here to help the people, okay? I'm here to help you not be a simple-minded bitch. Okay. Anyway, y'all, Grammys. Look, here's what I will say. Dua Lipa opening the show, for me, it was why is she opening the show? Didn't have a problem with it. The performance has grown on me. I was confused because I didn't know that she was nominated, and she was nominated for Dance the Night Away from Barbie. And I don't think that she needed to be nominated for that at all. I don't know why she was, but I don't think she should have been. But, the performance was sickening. Artist development in Dua Lipa is like the poster child for artist development, if you want to be fucking for real, because the internet said, no, baby, you're going to have to fix that. And she went right ahead and fixed that shit. And for that bitch always going to have my respect. Anywho. But I was confused at first about why she was performing. Again, the performance did grow on me. It wasn't a bad performance. It was actually a great performance. It obviously, I don't think everything is going to hit with everybody. And I think everybody has a certain style that they like. And for me, I think that when I hear the music that she's been performing, even the new one and Houdini, I just feel like it's so close to Future Nostalgia. Like, Future Nostalgia had such a fresh approach to it. And so far, with all the songs that I have heard coming from this album so far, haven't heard much, only 2 or 3, it sounds the same. But, I know some artists who use transitions from an old era to really open a new lane for themselves. So I don't know what her plan is. I don't know what the album's going to sound like. All I know is that Future Nostalgia really, it had me in a place to where I was prepared to take on a new era from Dua and potentially see myself as a stan. But I don't really see that as of right now. But I do see a lot of star power, and I do see her getting comfortable in the space that she's in. And I think with time, she's really going to do that. Olivia Rodrigo. Losing all of her nominations, that's fine. No, that's my bitch. But that's fine. I think there were rightful winners in each category that she was in. It was just so much stiff competition. And she's still new. This is only her second album. She has far to go and far many more Grammys that she's going to snag. As far as her performance, it wasn't her best. She definitely seemed nervous. I heard that she had strep. I don't know what the T is, but I can tell that she wasn't happy with that performance. But I could also tell during that performance that bitch could sing. I know Olivia Rodrigo. I've seen Olivia perform a whole ass concert, jumping up and down, running all around the stage and all of that stuff, and still having some very strong and heavy vocals as well. So I'm not really sure what the issue with the performance was. Again, I think I might know of some context, but I don't know if that is entirely confirmed. But either way, like I said, I'm not too focused on it. It wasn't her best. I've seen my bitch do her best and beyond in person, so it's not that big of a deal to me. Anywho, Miley's performance, Miley Cyrus had the best performance of her fucking career. I'm so fucking serious. That was the best performance of her career. Like, it really had everything that I think a Miley Cyrus fan would have enjoyed. You know, it gave her, she did her little 1-2 with her dance. She was like, I can love me and hit and 2 and 3 and she was popping that thing. I'm gonna tell y'all now, she really was. Definitely, that's my bitch. I'm telling you, bitch, that is. But it gave everything, you know. She had the choreography rightfully where she needed to. She had the fun. She had the careless energy. It was giving carefree, like dancing on the stage with herself and having fun. And her performance really just honed in on everything that the song represented and that Miley represented as an artist, as an entertainer, as a performer. I think that the Grammys night really showed everybody, and I think everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. I feel like it's so unspoken that Miley Cyrus is such a legend, to be honest. But I think she showed people the other night. She's never cared enough to really show people in that manner. There was a fire in Miley's eyes that I haven't seen before. It was like she knew her power. She knew the power that she had. I had never seen Miley Cyrus with that type of energy. The only time that I've seen her with that energy is Bangers. But it wasn't like the same energy as Bangers. It was the same type confidence, but turned up. Like Bangers, she was so sure of herself and of her life, while also at the same time being young and still kind of having those doubts, which I'm sure she probably has as an adult sometimes, because who the fuck doesn't? But it just seemed like the maturity aspect of it was there. She knows who she is. She's very confident. And she knows that, bitch, she's a fucking legend. She knows. I've seen all types of charts. I've already seen a #1 song. I've seen several #1 albums. More than most bitches is going to see in their entire lifetime, and probably their children too. So it's like, girl, you ate that. She really... Miley Cyrus is the people's people. That is Hannah Montana. People grew up on Hannah Montana, and I think to see Miley Cyrus in this space, I think is really resonating with a lot of people because, A, when I watched her on that stage, when she screamed, I won my first Grammy, I had this flashback of 2008, seeing her with that brunette hair. When the performance started, I saw This Is the Life, the beginning of that performance. I saw it. I just had a huge flashback, and it was just very full circle to see Miley Cyrus in the space of performing with brunette hair, dancing on stage like that, being so charismatic, being entertaining. Like, that is just the Miley Cyrus that we have grown up with. So how fulfilling it is to see Miley Cyrus get her first Grammy. She should have gotten it for The Climb, but if you didn't know, The Climb was originally nominated for Best Song Written for Visual Media, but I don't know exactly how they handled the nomination. I don't know if they rescinded the nomination or if her team omitted the nomination. I think they omitted the nomination. And just kind of excluded it out the fact because it wasn't written for the visual media. They had gotten the song and then applied it to the film. It wasn't written for the film. So that was the difference. But if you ask me, I think Hannah Montana definitely, at least nominations for sure. At least nominations for sure. And then seeing The Climb being her first Grammy, that would have been probably right. But, you know, Miley Cyrus came up during a time, and I don't think people realize it just because of all the barriers that she broke. Miley Cyrus lived the life that she lived on TV, which is really fucking crazy when you think about it. Like, she was living this double life. She was going out as Hannah Montana, and she was going out as Miley Cyrus, but, you know, you saw the things that she filmed with Hannah Montana. She did a Hannah Montana for each season, she did a concert series for Hannah Montana. So that way they could use the clips inside of the series. So what was interesting to me about that whole thing was just that Miley Cyrus was more of Hannah Montana outside of the show than she was in, because Hannah Montana had a full real life tour. She had the Best of Both Worlds tour where she was both Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana. She was 2 acts in one fucking show. So girl, could you imagine? Could you genuinely imagine that girl was more of Hannah Montana outside than inside? So she had to be Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus. This girl was at Disney World doing a whole Hannah Montana concert. And I think the best thing about Hannah Montana is that it's just the manifestation of her life. Because A, she ended up going blonde. B, Hannah Montana manifested that Record of the Year nomination and win. There's a lot of manifestations that happen in, Hannah Montana. And when you look at Miley Cyrus now, Miley Cyrus literally is Hannah Montana. Look at her at the Grammys. That was Hannah Montana. Do not be fooled. Let my bitch put on a blonde wig. Definitely would have been Hannah Montana. Like, you could have just recorded that, chopped it up, put some Hannah Montana, vocal transition between scenes, bitch, and I just wouldn't have known the difference. Anywho, she ate that up. Love me some Miley Cyrus. What a full circle moment that was. Boom. Y'all, honestly, I'm really wrapping this up because I don't have too much that I want to speak on. Outside of what I've already spoken on, because chances are I probably don't care about it. But I think that overall, the Grammys was very boring to me. It was. It was so boring. They're going to have to do something to spice that shit up. I don't know. Girl, because I didn't want to watch it. I did not want to watch it. I obviously stayed for the people who were performing and to see who were going to get their awards. But when people weren't getting their awards, or when people I liked weren't performing, I wasn't watching. Bitch, there was a time I was like, you know what? I could hop in the shower, and by the time I come the fuck back out, bitch, this shit is probably going to be right where I want it. And it was. As soon as I got out, Miley was performing. So, hello, girl. I'm over the Grammys. I'm grateful for the nominations that they got this year. I thought they were kind of cute. To me, again, that's all talk and no action. Nominations are talk to me. Winnings are actions to me. So they did all talk and no action. They just wanted to present themselves in a certain way, right? Because nominations don't mean shit until you win. What are you going to say? Grammy-nominated artists, like, imagine saying Grammy-nominated artist Nicki Minaj. Like, you don't even need to say, girl, get the fuck out of here. You don't even have to say that. It's just Nicki fucking Minaj, period. The power that it holds to just say Nicki fucking Minaj, right? Anywho, girl, we're looking forward to a Grammy brand that holds itself accountable. I think when the Grammys fuck up and they don't acknowledge that they fucked up, people think that the Grammys holds themselves at a higher standard than they actually, I don't know. They hold themselves to the standard, but they don't act like that standard. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be too good to issue a public apology. Well, if they did that to certain people, I can guarantee you they would probably reach out. Who knows? They probably did reach out to Nicki Minaj and Prophet, and I hope they did. Nicki was like, bye. You go out there and try to embarrass me on the internet, and then you just delete the tweet like it never happened and never mention it. Interesting. Anyway, girl, I'm hopping off here, though. I do appreciate y'all. I don't have nothing else left to motherfucking talk about the Grammys. Nothing else interests me. And I have no reason to sit up here talking about it. So I do appreciate you, y'all. Make sure you go ahead and like this video if you are streaming this on YouTube, and share it and hit that follow button. I appreciate you. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on all social medias as well at that Sowdev. What, girl? At that Sowdev? I can't speak. On Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, child. I already told y'all. YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, now, I can't wait for the Grammys next year. I really want to see what the tea is down about the nominations, because I do feel like it's, I don't know, last year was really skimpy for music, personally. So they have about another 6 months to really impress me, so that way the nominations are actually full of people, full of quality. But my hope for the next show is that they don't pay attention to popularity. They, you sit and you listen to every last person who submits. Okay? Listen to every person who submits. Even if you don't know them and they get Grammy nominations, I don't give a fuck. They could have 10 followers for all I care. If it is the best, then it is the best. That's what I would like to see. It's not just all about people who are getting massive mainstream industry backing. There are people who are so much better out there. Jay-Z was right. Some of these bitches do not belong in categories. And that's just the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear it because they want to be like, oh, everybody rightfully. Shut up. No, that's not the case. It's the fucking Grammys, not the Billboard Music Awards. And not even that. This is not the Teen Choice Awards. Got the Grammys looking like a fucking Teen Choice Awards. Be fucking for real. Anyway, I'm hopping off here, y'all. I appreciate you. Make sure you drink some water, eat some good food, and take care of yourselves. All right, y'all. I'm bouncing off this motherfucker before they piss me off again. I'm out. For right now. Peace.